This is Inside Indiana Business Radio for the afternoon of Wednesday, May 15th, 2024. I'm Kate Sharon. Work is underway on the $89 million renovation of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway Museum, plans for which were first announced last July. While updates to the nearly 40-year-old building's exterior, which includes new windows and a new front facade, are complete, the building's interior still has a long way to go. IMS Museum President Joe Hale.
In the past, you kind of walked in and you saw everything. Now you've got to go, you follow a path, you follow a storyline.
The overhaul of the nearly 40,000 square foot museum, which will include a fully remodeled interior with a new mezzanine level and separate exhibit spaces, along with an educational area, is the first since the venue opened in 1976. One of the exhibit spaces is Gasoline Alley, which will have 7 garages representing different eras of the 500. A new report from the Indiana Association of Realtors shows Indiana home sales in April increased 9% over the same month last year. A total of 6,730 closings were reported, which is also an 8% jump over March. The increase is a shift from this time in 2023, when closed and pending home sales dropped from March to April due to rising mortgage rates and a sharp decrease in inventory. The association said with interest rate cuts expected in 2024 and 25, the real estate market in Indiana is, quote, returning to normal seasonal trends, leading into traditionally heavy home buying months. South Bend-based Graham Allen Partners is set to launch a $200 million fund focused on leveraging untapped data within legacy businesses. The Data Focus Fund 2 follows the private equity firm's initial $93 million fund launched in 2019 that uses similar strategies. With over $400 million of assets under management, the firm says it will continue its commitment to Midwest-based businesses. Susan Ford, Chief Operating Officer at Graham Allen Partners.
And so that's something that we are continuing to look for with with future sellers that we want to work with, people who have a strong business, who know that business better than anybody, who know they want to take a leap into the next transition of the digital transformation and know they can't do it alone.
From the number one source for Indiana business news, this is Inside Indiana Business Radio.
Indiana, your bold future starts here. IBJ Media, Inside Indiana Business, and the Indiana Economic Development Corporation invite you to the Engage Indiana series, presented by CareSource, Indiana University, and Old National Bank. With an unrelenting focus on growing Indiana's economy, our Engage Indiana events take place in every region of the state. Discover when we'll be in your area at ibj.com/engage.
A senior executive with the AAA Hoosier Motor Club and an alum of Indiana Wesleyan University has been named dean of the university's DeVoe School of Business, Technology, and Leadership. Andy Hughes began his new role April 29th. As Chief Innovation Officer of the 450,000-member Central Indiana Automobile Association, Hughes helped spearhead strategy and innovations, including the launch of a mobile tire replacement program, a text alert partnership that warns drivers of upcoming roadside repairs underway, and employee training and professional development. Terre Haute-based Hamilton Center Incorporated said Tuesday it is increasing salaries for its nurses and therapists. The regional health system said the move follows a continuous evaluation of its operational structure, salaries, benefits, and culture. CEO Melvin Burks said in a news release that the changes are necessary for the organization to continue to serve the 11 counties in which it operates. The center cited a 2022 Gallup survey in which 64% of job applicants said they considered salary as the top factor when selecting a position. The organization said the salary changes are being made to help satisfy this desire. When Indiana lawmakers next converge upon the State House for interim committee meetings, they'll take on artificial intelligence, Medicaid spending, and more, but won't take another look at marijuana. Hoosier legislative sessions start in January and run to March or April, depending on the year. In between, lawmakers spend time learning about specific topics, then deliver reports to their colleagues summarizing any findings or bill proposals. In an education committee, which notably was missing from the list last interim, members will examine the impact of absenteeism on students and school funding distributions, as well as, quote, school discipline related to creating a safe environment and improving educational access. They'll also begin preparing for the upcoming budget session in earnest through the Fiscal Policy Committee. That body is charged with reviewing tax expenditure reports for preparation and consideration of the budget, as well as multi-year reviews of tax incentives and workforce-related programs. In case you missed it, a business owner and entrepreneur in the Putnam County town of Cloverdale is looking to expand what he calls a civic information network piloted at Cloverdale High School. Talby Jackson launched Citizen One as a means to deliver news in a more efficient way to different communities, particularly those considered news deserts without a local newspaper or television station. The platform, which utilizes a website and mobile app, is designed to provide news on a hyperlocal basis for Cloverdale residents. Indiana's Secretary of Commerce, David Rosenberg, is this week's guest on the Business and Beyond podcast with Gary Dick, presented by PNC, a weekly conversation with high-profile Hoosiers in business, sports, entertainment, and beyond. Available now from your favorite podcast provider. I'm Kate Sharon for Inside Indiana Business, Radio on Demand.